How are we doing? There we go. Ahoy! Let's get this in the right place. Yeah, that sounds about right. Light seems in the right place. Just let everyone catch up. Ahoy, Mr. Kubler. How are we doing? That was a bit confusing at the start there. I thought the screen was going to cut me up, but they seem to have sorted it out. Nice. Well, I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and a jolly New Year. I had obviously busy. So we missed a couple. And then, yeah, I think I was poorly for one. But here I am again. Welcome back. So, let's just let the streamy catch up a little bit. Ah, bonjour, Rich. How are we? I think the screen's the right way up and everything. Can we see? Can we see okay? Is it focusing in? Yeah, I think so. So tonight, yes, it was all sorts going on. And then there was a gig, and then the dog was poorly, and oh god. But hey, we're all through it now. So tonight, I'm going to paint these bad boys. This is the front rank packaging from Griffin Beast for mixed archers. You can buy the front rank ones. You don't get the bases with them. I think it's £10. I think these are for 6. Now, obviously, if you're playing Saga, 6 archers aren't much good to you, so you have to buy a couple of packets. But I think there's an offer if you buy 3 packets or whatever. But they've also done the new packaging for the Saga ones, which you'll get the bases for and the right numbers, because these, I believe, are going to be the warriors in most of the war bands for 8 of them, because they're a little bit heavier. And I think the levy versions will be 12s, but I think they might be the lightly armored. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Look at the I know they've changed the website and all that's up to date. I was down there last time, they hadn't done those packs, so I grabbed the front rank ones. I've got a few more to do, sort of Age of Chivalry stuff, because it's all exciting stuff. So there we go. So we're going to paint these up. You're going to have to imagine I've got 8 of them, and I'll probably grab the odd couple down there. These are quite heavy. We've got the chainmail. So we're going to go for English 100-Year War. Can't quibble about that. Well, I suppose you could, but there'd be little point because I can't hear you. Okay, so we're going to start with Moonstone Skin. Just going to pop some of that on the wet palette. Yeah. Well, I can't wait to read it, mate. I wonder if there's any nice examples of painted miniatures in there. just going to lay on, like you usually do a nice layer of flesh. As ever, I've undercoated these with Vallejo black with a Zenithal sort of highlighty style grey over top. Their grey is very white. If you want them to be a bit more colourful, you could then do a white one over the top as well, from the top, if you want them to be really punchy. The base is just my usual pumice. Oh, absolutely. It's a cracking game, Cubes. Cubes, that's a bit rude, isn't it? Abbreviate your... I think the good thing about Saga is there's something in there to kind of nibble everyone's fancy, isn't there? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't mind playing any of the universes, as they put it. I mean, even if buying the rule book, really, and just obviously you won't be able to play with just the rule book, but you could have a good look at the basic rules. Very basic rules are very simple. There we go. These are wearing gloves. Or whistle. It's purely, yeah, a matey thing, isn't it? Calling people abbreviated nicknames and stuff. That's why it's called Saga, isn't it? You know what I mean? It was first of all the Vikings book, wasn't it? And it was based on the sagas rather than the history. I've heard people argue at conventions, it's quite funny, about historical wargaming and getting very precious about it. And if you ask Beastie Boys or Studio Tomahawk, it has historical flavourings, and the guys that write the books, they do know their stuff, and they do very well. You know, Alex as well. They do very well of getting the flavour of it into the war bands, which is kind of cool. I personally am a big fan of the Age of Magic, because I just like grabbing miniatures off the shelf, you know, dragons and trolls and all manner of different stuff. And I like having games that are kind of narrative, and I think that's something Saga's quite good at. Then again, the tournaments, I've been to the Iron Man tournaments, and it works very well as a competition game as well. So I think it's a bit of a all things to all men sort of game. No one's going to like it, but hey. Yeah, so what else we got going on? We got the I said about the pomace on the bases is a neutral one that I get through Amazon. It's a French name. It's PBO. PBO. I don't know. Pebeo with the accent over something. You know what I mean. That's the. It's very similar to Vallejo pomace. But I like it, the fact that it's got no paint in it, it's neat, so I can decide what shade I want the base is, which is cool. And the paints are sitting on a wet palette, and I'm dipping and watering them down a little bit with the matte medium mix that I make. Yes, I've been talking about doing some stuff. So yeah, definitely, Big Battles in Siren is happy to host most stuff. It's just how many people I can get there to whether you have it as a complete saga, then have the whole venue to run the venue, or whether we have to share. So there's definitely things happening now. Christmas is out the way with Saga Age of Magic. I've got some plans there, which is good. Which is we can do maybe I can arrange something. A beast, that'd be interesting. I'll have to ask them. They're a bit busy at the moment. Okay, we're going to put some of the metal down. We're going to use gun metal. I'm using all Army Painter Fanatic paints. If anyone's not seen, that's what I do. But yeah. So now I'm going to use a brush with the points gone, so I can get into this chain now. So what we're going to do, start with a bit of medium in our brush, just to loosen the silver a bit, and because I want it to be a little bit thinned, so I can get in amongst that chainmail. That's why I'm saying use a brush that's already had its point destroyed, because what I'm doing now, if you've got a nice brush, that will kill it. So don't kill your nice brush. So yeah, I keep some medium in my brush to help it play. The dog's snoring early and in the process, that's good. Just before we come on air, he was sort of doing a I'm going potty for 5 minutes. Just drop some. I'm doing this quite early on because we're gonna drop some tone, or what you want to call it, into this in a minute. Wash. What brand you like? That's how I'm going to use. Well, I use all the Army paint stuff at the moment. Still living all my fanatic stuff. It's quite chainmailed up. So yeah. So, Age of Chivalry then. I mean, I've not seen the book yet, but obviously paint a lot of the minis, etc. What there's going to be crossovers in these, so hopefully you're going to cut down your figure count for playing this version. They've certainly done that with the dice, isn't there? Just is it just 2 sets, isn't it, Rich? That you need? Is it? They've got a red and a blue set, isn't it? So no game manufacturers in general get a lot of heat when you need special dice. I'll say Saga. I've played when you didn't have the right sets of dice, and it does take something away from it. It is better to have the dice if you can. You can. It does work without it, but it's nice. It's a much nicer experience with them. And that's for making them. I remember when I first got hold of Age of Magic, we didn't have any dice at hand because it was a weekend, blah blah blah. I forgot to get them or whatever, and I made some blanks that I had, and it took me best part of half a day to make 2 sets. And I'm thinking, well, in fairness, I'm never going to make the dice again. Yeah, if you want to spend a day making dice, Rich, yeah, I've got better things to do. If you go to the Steered Tomahawk website, I think they've got all the stickers on there for them. As I said, by the time you've cut it out and stuck them all on and fired them around, that as long as you're willing to put the time into them, yeah. If you go to Steered Tomahawk website, I think I don't know if the new ones, but I know all the old ones are on there. It's just a case of printing them off, cutting them out in it. You can actually do it just the numbers if you want to, but then you're forever checking what numbers are rare and which ones are common and which will. Yeah, I think in this case, when you're rolling specific dice for a game, it does kind of make sense to get them rather than just make do. I mean, it's our hobby at the end of the day, isn't it? So, and I get about keeping costs down, etc. But there's a lot more chainmail ones in this pack than I thought there was. I do love the front rank miniatures, though. They're really cool. I say, I can't say it enough. See, another way you could do it, if you're doing a lot of chainmail, is I like doing it this way because I like the control at the end. It gives us of where we're going to make it grubby and when we're going to make it shine. But a lot more effective way if you're doing a lot of chainmail is to actually start from the black base. Just dry brush it and wash it. But we're doing this way around. It's a little bit more work, but I like the overall effect that it gives me when the control over the effect. In fairness, that's what I'm looking at. So what we're looking to do is, I think when you do the dry brush, right, you can dry brush gunmetal and then you can dry brush. So I missed a couple of little weedly bits. They're hard to spot sometimes when it's chainmail. Yeah, if you're doing this over a black base, obviously you can do quite a hefty dry brush of gunmetal and then maybe a little bit of dry brushing of silver over the top after a wash. We kind of do the same thing, but we're going to paint it in like this. The other one's the War Paint Speed Paint 2. They do a metallic set in that, and that's also very good, and it goes into chainmail very well. And it works over the lighter colours rather than the black, so just another option for you. Right, to offer as many options as we can. I think definitely in this book, I believe we're going to be able to swap around men at arms and your levy and your archers very easily. It's only going to be named troops that are going to be. If you keep their liveries sort of a bit more generic, you can be able to swap and change them quite easily, I should imagine. Just don't tell Dr. Bob, because he'll tell me off for saying that. Sorry, Dr. Bob. Yeah, it's definitely exciting when a new book comes out, isn't it? And this one's been waiting. People have been waiting for this for a long time. This one, so. So just putting there. We're putting this in so early, but especially because it's cold, the paint's going to take a little bit longer to dry. So I've got the heat on in here. So it's not too bad. I don't think that's metal. That's I can't remember the bloody name for it. It looks like tiles on there, doesn't it? No. Yeah, undercoating models outside this weather is it's going to be tricky. Luckily, I use my airbrush. I know we're quite lucky on our climate over here. Really, most of the time we're okay outside. Yeah, don't don't tell her I'm encouraging you to get an airbrush, Rich. I'll be in deep trouble. I'll be at a convention and all of a sudden I'll feel a thud in the back of my hand. Some of the areas I've painted, like the little bucklers there, I've painted them in this colour. It might change by the time we get back around the miniature, but hey, at least it'd be dry. You can paint these Fanatic paints cover up quite well, so I'd rather put it on now, have it dry, so I can put a wash over it. I'll have to come back and not be able to, if you see what I mean. So I'm just working round. These are going to be, say, these are going to be warriors, or levy. These are more warrior ones, so it's a case of not too fancy, but they're still got to look pretty good because they're the warriors, which are kind of your decent troops, really. I'll be quite interested. I'm not read yet, but obviously Rich has about the cannons. There's got to be rules for cannons in this, isn't there, Rich? Bombards, I suppose, is better. Next, we're going to hit some Speed Paint 2 Crusader skin. Let's give it a good rattle. We still got our cruddy brush out, so we use that one. And we're going to use this as the flesh wash. No, I think it's the autofocus is picking up the nice. We have some fun commissions arriving for these guys. You had to paint wagons and that for some of the photographs in it, wasn't it? And he was very very pleased with his wagons. Let's just put a better brush in that. So I'll go quite heavily on these, but I think I did the cannon. I think I did paint some cannons for him as well. That might have been, oh no, I think that was the sword point book. I can't remember. Don't tell them I can't remember. I always like when you get something a little bit strange in the rules, isn't it? Some strange bit of eye candy in it. Yeah, we do this Speed Paint 2 flesh over the flesh base because it makes it look like no, you crack on, mate. Right, so that's our base color. We'll let the metallic dry for a bit. So next we will start the colours of the arches themselves. So I want kind of a, for the padded one, I like using that fawny colour. So something like Tomb King Tan will be good. This is a greyish olive brown. And I'm looking for the like padded. He's not got any. And I'll mix the colours around a bit so these can be mixed in with other things as well. Well, the other way is to keep it very yuck. Just put a bit of medium onto a brush. There we go. So, did you guys get any hobby stuff for Christmas that our regulars in? Must have got some. The other thing you could do with these arches is paint them in very sort of base colours. So you could use them with different factions and stuff in the saga verse. So we've got some more. I grabbed a few packs of these. So the next few sessions will be Age of Chivalry ones. Got some personality miniatures as well. That's the thing. I mean, you can use some of the personality packs for your warlord or whatever. Oh, that's cool. Hobby mojo is important stuff. So, yeah. And it's some of these paints were affected the other day by the snow. I think it was the pressure. So I noticed that some of the paints where I was opening them up were actually coming out of the dropper bottles. It used to happen to my Vallejo ones as well, so it's not a digger army painter, but I noticed when the weather goes a bit crazy, you pop the lid off and they nice. Let's keep that colour for any padded. Nope. It's just going to be one in this pack. Oh, it's another one. Just like a little bit of medium, just help it out on the palette. Keeps it nicely flowing into those gaps. So, because it's a slightly darker colour I've picked to start with here, I'm going to let it go into all the grooves. Because we're going to put a wash over it. What I'm not going to do is allow it to go into the chain melt there. Because I don't want it in there. There we go. Keep yourself neat and tidy as you go along. Always good. Trying to think what I've been doing lately. Usually have a what's happened this week. I've posted most of it off this week. Yes. Yes, they do. They know exactly what they're doing. Be careful, Rich. Although it's good for me when people say, "Can I paint such and such?" and they'll send me it's on this book, this page, and I know exactly what colours they're looking at. You know. You dive. Life's short, mate. You just dive in, both feet. Go do it. Grab an airbrush. See. Grab an Osprey book. Grab an airbrush. And I've been doing a lot of what have I been doing lately? I painted some Rumble Slam, some wrestling miniatures from TT Combat, and I like the miniatures so much that my son bought me the starter wrestlers for the 2-player thing. You do. That was good. So now I've done some more for someone else. It's basically like it reminds me of Blood Bowl but wrestling, but you got all the wrestling moves, so it's quite fun. See, it's her leading you astray, Rich. I'm not on ear. I'm not in earshot, am I? You've got this. Have you got your headphones on? Dancing with the stars or on ice in it. I'm trying to think of what miniatures I got on the side here to show you that I've painted in between. Just what else would we see? I've done an old Rowpartha dragon. That's still kicking around on the side. There we go. I've given a Rowpartha old Chaos Dragon, so I thought better painting. What else do I paint? Did you see the chimeras? So I was talking to someone about scale creep, about how miniatures are getting bigger. So I painted the old TSR D&D chimera, but I based the colour scheme on the Mears miniatures one I painted a while back. So yeah, the scale's there's a bit of scale creep there. Yeah. Well, oh yeah, here we go. And then we got, and then because whenever I go to a convention and sell in miniatures, I always sell a mind flare. So I picked up some mind flares from Blue Giant Studios. They're the ones from the Fight and Fantasy book. I don't think they're called mind flares in there because of D&D film. I think they're called brain slayers or something like that. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's a nice miniature. A little bit big in my mind for a mind flare, but definitely squiddy enough. What else? Oh yeah, and then I did some Hobbit Adventurers. Oh, there's dwarfs in there as well. These are for the stall. These are just going to a convention near you. I'm not sure when my next one is actually. There's about 4 or 5 of those. I won't grab any more of them across. Yeah, I'm not sure when my next one is. Probably not going to York because it take me about 4 hours from here. I'll have to talk to the beasties. See what's going. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so let's put the black wash into the metal now. Let's use my known. Yeah, I might do hammerhead. I think they're doing that. I think last time I was up there, I kind of done my table at the front of the beasties one, which worked nicely for both of us. Yeah, the Rowpartha sculpt's nice, isn't they? Evening, Ben. Oh right, okay. I'll get on it, Rich, and try and get to Hammerhead because that worked quite well having that table at the front of there. Depends how much room they've got, I suppose. I don't think it'd pay me to actually hire my own. I think that's the amount of stuff I have to take up. But yeah, I was looking at a York one, and then I thought, well, 4 hours, long way to drive. But I'm going to try and do a few more this year. So it went pretty well last year. But yeah, it's all good. So how are you doing, Ben? I was just this known oil is actually I think their known oil was a little bit light, so it's got some. I dropped some black ink, Vallejo black ink into it as well, so it's quite strong known oil. Oh no! I was supposed to go to Salute last year with the Beasties, but oh no, when was it? I can't remember. Might have been the year before, actually. Oh no! Busy, 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 Ben. Have you got enough time to be on here? As you know, I like getting stay on top of the commissions. I'm not keen on having any hanging around, and really like not having people wait for stuff. But just before I got absolutely nailed, like Rich, just before Christmas. December was like absolutely crazy. Well, which didn't help by yeah. Can you just do this, rest? That's the so yeah, can you just any chance? Can you just do a quick? Yeah, okay. And it is always. I've agreed to run a show. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to a competition. I need an next unit of. Is choice here. So yeah, you see we're putting that wash into the chainmail. So it's a slightly long-winded approach to doing it, but I just do like the effect a little bit better. Let me get this. Might leave his hat in there. So this is another, as you see, quite a dead brush. I'm just using for washes. That's what's left of a army painter character brush. So yeah, he's been kicking around on the paint desk for a little while. Yeah, I've been trying to do like some short videos in between, but just not managed to get it. But I think it's going to have to be a New Year's resolution for me to try and do more kind of quick. This is how you do such and such ones. So the dog is licking his feet, which is makes a lovely sound on video. He was snoring a little while ago, so I suppose it's different. Yeah, fine, yeah. Oh, my footsore one's downstairs. I showed you, yeah, fine. I think there's more variation in sizes in the sculpts internally of Griffin Beast, so they work on the premise that not everyone is spot on 6 foot or whatever, so you'll get some miniatures that look a little bit shorter than others, but mixing in, they're probably 2 of the ones that work mixing the best, I suppose. Richard's got some footsore and yeah, I'd have to go into the storeroom next door and dig around in boxes, I'm afraid. I can show you how these front ranks go against on the scale against Jigglypuff. There you go, Ben. How does the front rank archers scale against a giant pink Jigglypuff? That's what these in-depth videos are about, isn't it? Really, you need to know. I thought that'd cheer you up, mate. What's the other front rank packets I've got as well? So these are going to be in the next couple of videos. I grabbed the little chivalry, Age of Chivalry kind of. So we've got mounted medieval nobleman pack. Some nice big horses. Dismounted men at arms. And Henry the V. of Oxford. John Cheney, servant of a palfrey. 4 figures. Yes. We are getting to the nitty-gritty answers as well. Absolutely. Right, let's get my paintbrush back in going again. Because that's what we're all here for. Let's do their boots. I'm going to start with Brigandine Brown. All those tough questions that other channels just aren't prepared to go there, are they? You know what I mean? Always keep a little pin handy in a bit of foam, just to uncloggy bits. Yeah, finger on the pulse and that, Kubler. Right, I'm going to hit all the leathery kind of stuff. So I'm going to go boots. This is one I do like this brown. It goes on ever so nice. Bit medium and you're away. Yeah. Bit more medium in there. I just add it by brush rather than dripping it into the... Oh, dog sounds disgusting. Stop chewing your foot. Ah. It's not bad. I'd be for it. I mean, its accuracy probably would be a little questionable. I suppose if you standardise your Jigglypuff, as long as you had a standardised Jigglypuff, a Jigglypuff standard mean time. I suppose, yeah. Belt there. That's all right for him. I mean, I can't really see a downside to it, in fairness, Ben. Very true. Oh, God, that's not sounds too bad. It sounds like a swamp monster behind me. Hey, that's enough now. It's actually looking his cushion. Apparently that's dog's self-soothing, apparently. They're doing that. But we should do it quietly. A peace at last. I won't whisper because we're getting put into the ASMR category. One of the first videos I did on this channel, I had the microphone a long way from my mouth, and I was talking quite quietly because obviously I didn't want to go all boomy on everyone. And yeah, I had a comment like that. Really enjoyed your ASMR. Okay, I'm going to speak louder now. Let's do his belt pouch in the leather as well. These are the things that speed up your batch paint if you can use one colour for more. So the tighter your palette is, the faster you're going to go, basically. There's a happy little accident there. No, I'm not gonna. Oh, I just sounded spooky and weird then, so I'm gonna stop. I don't know how to react at a convention if somebody said to me, "Yeah, we really like your program." Somebody was sort of saying about, yeah, they just listened to it to relax. I thought, okay, and I was waiting for someone to sort of say, "Yes, I listened to it to go to sleep to," and I thought, well, I wouldn't know how to react to that. You mean I'm boring? Just love watching Bob Ross programs, the old Bob Ross painting jobs, isn't it? Just do a happy little tree at the front here. Look, it's a happy little bell. Just join his friend the axe. Be careful with that axe, Eugene. Right. So yeah, I'm just gonna hit the leather work with the brown. Back to the real one. Everybody's gonna think I'm drunk tonight. So yeah. It's weird, isn't it, when you come across something you've done yourself? It's quite often I'll if I get a commission in or something, I'll Google whatever I'm painting and have a look at some image and get a gist of what color palette I need and such and such and such and such. And what I always find weird is when I I put in a miniature and the Google search comes back with the miniatures I painted a while back that I've forgotten I'd painted. That's always funny. There was one. It was a hobby shop in. I put in a search for. I can't remember what it was. It was one of the Griffin Beast miniatures, and I thought, I'll just check, and it was it was being used in a hobby shop in Australia on their website to sell. I thought that was quite funny. I'll just grab myself a reference picture of the stuff I've already painted. In fairness, they had actually credited my painting as well, which was nice of them. I don't really care about it. It doesn't really matter. But that's weird. Have you ever found it been really badly translated, Ben? Do you always get someone to check it over for you? What flashed into my mind is, when you buy something cheap on the internet from China or something, and you get somebody that's Chinese has done the English or whatever language description of congratulations for buying such a wonderful piece of equipment. I think this energy drink's gone to my head today. That's because, yeah, that's because, yeah, as Brits are buggers for foreign language, are we just shout English at people. Do you understand? I said. And get all Basil 40 on them. Mm. That's crazy. If I go for a like on these studded, well, not studded, are they? They're plated, aren't they? Inside. Is it Brigadine? This is Brigadine Brown, but the I thought I'd use the black. But it could be any colour, isn't it? So I mean, Dr. Bob's one's blue, bright blue. So whatever tickles your fancy, really. That's a good thing about Age of Chivalry. It's going to be some really nice opportunities to get involved with some different paint jobs, really. Whereas I think the dark painting the Dark Age stuff, you can really just who's going to tell you you're wrong kind of thing. But the same way is that there was a lot of there's a lot of wiggle room for stuff that's not completely heraldic, isn't there? So you can use a lot of different colours. Yeah, I've never had a problem with them really. Some people just, I think it's about being a little bit patient there. If you rush, you can kind of dry brush over the top, can't you? But you're not going to get them all, and it's not going to be perfect. Whereas if you just get used to, it's about paint load on them, isn't it? You've got to have enough paint that just the tiniest touch on them, just slurp the paint off your brush. Put some back there. What then is that top strap on his, and I've just done the back of his thighs in it as well, because you can't really see them really. So he's going to be really dark if I go. I'm going to do. I think I might do some quite randomy colours. So, I'm going to start my white ones with worn stone as a base, which is a olive grey. But it's a good starting point for stuff you want to be white, but you want it to look like campaign sort of white, so it's not really bingy bright, you know. So we're just going to hit the the other thing I found with this, if you use this olive, you can then put a bit of, use this as a base, hit a bit of light brown wash in there, and then start picking it out to go to white, if you know what I mean. So we're going to go, I think we'll have his, I think eventually what I'll be probably doing is getting a couple more packs of these and mixing them up on the stall. So I'm going to keep fairly generic, so I can add more as I go along. Then I can add, if I wanted to, I could use them as a base for a unit for something else as well, but I'm probably just gonna make these up to an 8. I think I might have a couple kicking around in the show stuff, because I did have some, I had some loose on there from a packet before. I know somebody bought some, so I shall have to check through my stock. I know some guy bought some 100-Year War stuff I had painted, ready for Age of Chivalry, and that was back in August. So he's got very excited. So I'm just gonna, this olive grey, just gonna do those bits there, lacing. Yeah, he's cool. So we do the just letting that go into the fletching on these arrows. So it's quite, I find these front rank miniatures, they paint up so easily, you know. Such nice sculpts. I always find that if you've got a nice sculpt, half the job's already done for you. So I'm doing like a, just thin down that worn stone again. Just keep it flowing like. Yeah, what might have to do with the personality packs is do like, because it's going to be a lot of heraldry, and that is, instead of trying to do the whole pack at once, we just pick out one to do and then do all the heraldry, etc., all in one hit. Just making sure there's none See how it gathered a bit in the deep recesses. I was just making sure that it doesn't dry there. This is another guy with Brigadine, so we do a different shirt. Do some bright, probably got a name for the balaclava bits. I've not done their arrows, so best do those, hadn't I? Time. Well, just over that hour and 20. That's not too bad, is it? So now, bows. There's lots of bow colours. I think I'll use, it's Wasteland Clay I've been using. Let's go a shade darker. Let's go to Desert Yellow. So you can do the bows lots of different ways. This is just a quick way because I like this. You can drop a wash over it there because it's a little bit lighter wood than you expect. Let's go down to Prairie Oak. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it might be a better one. If you want slightly darker wood, let's do the top. See what? Yeah, that's ever so slightly. You probably wouldn't even tell on the camera. It's when you get in the light box. This reason I've swapped down there is when you put it in the light box, the yellow kind of glows up. Although it should be slightly better with this new lamp. There we go. You still put brown wash over it just to tone it down a little bit more. The lighter colour just sits well, I think, with kind of the more Viking-y Dark Age. I don't know, it's probably a bit of a Hollywood history thing in my head. Probably they used pine in a lot of stuff, didn't they? Hollywood be cheaper. I'm not a wood expert, so I couldn't tell you exactly. But I mean, these would be yew, wouldn't it? Longbow. Yew trees. Probably somebody's going to get very cross with me getting the wrong wood there. But sorry if I did. Forgive me, quite like a more richer brown than this if you want to go accurate. That's it, elm. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a lot of the case. A lot of time, isn't it? Run what you brung, it. You can have preferences, but yeah, it's a bit weird history, isn't it? When our approaches towards it. I'm not. I don't. I'm not a great historian in by any means, but I I've looked at enough stuff to know that I'm completely skewed by what you've seen in Hollywood, etc. Some people get something stuck in their head, and that's it. I try and think about it logically, really. If somebody has something available to them, they're going to use it. If it wasn't available to them, they wouldn't have been able to use it, or it would have been very expensive to use. Yeah, yeah. I witnessed a very heated argument once about uh, German standard field grey in the Second World War uniforms. Really, and which the best paint, and Vallejo was better than such and such and such and such and such and such. And this guy at the stall just lost it, just had enough of it, and he disappeared, and he came back, and he had six different. He was a reenactor or something, a historian or whatever it was, and he had a load of World War Two German smocks, and each one of them was different, and that's exactly the reason he carried them around in his car when that argument. He was so bored of having it, and he just dumped them on the floor. There wasn't a single one uniformed. I was having a chat with somebody about exactly the same thing in respect of, did you really think Romans walked around in bright red all the time? It's very interesting. Yeah, I was quite impressed. There was one of the chaps was arguing that, and it's something that's true about uh, miniature painting is uh, what's it called? It scale color or scale shading or something like that. So, for instance, when we're painting a miniature, we'll put a lot more highlights into something than there should be because we overemphasize to make it look good. Uh, yeah, although Rich Vikings is a great movie, isn't it? um, yeah, what was that? Yeah, scale color, I think it is, not the paint. The so a a colour will look wrong at the scale you're painting that might be the actual true colour, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? So if I've got a red car that's a certain colour, if I get the exact paint that it's painted in and paint it at miniature scale, it will look wrong because the way the shadows work. The best description the scale colour that I can think of is rocks. If you get a rock from a little pebble from the garden and stick it to the base of your miniature, it doesn't look real. You've got to spray it and paint it for it to look right, because the shadows on the rock don't work in the scale that we're thinking of. You see what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Ghouls had magic trousers. Skyclad. At the end of the day, it's like we said on here many, many times, there are miniatures. Rule, of course, they're representing their posh playing pieces. So we shall paint them how we like. I got a load of pictures on my phone of I can't remember the ladies who were. That sounded wrong, this conversation. Look, bear with me. This lady who does, she dyes wool for a living, but she only uses dyes made from authentic stuff that would have been around in the Dark Ages. And the wool she gets are amazing. So whenever somebody says to me, "You can't paint, you're painting too bright," I do get accused sometimes of painting Dark Age stuff too bright, and this isn't the Wizard of Oz. We didn't invent colour. They had colour. Yes, Rich. My dad was telling me that they had a base in Germany. They were based in Germany. I think it was when he started in the army in his national service, and they had to paint the grass and all the bricks and stones around the whole camp when somebody was coming to visit. Bless them. Right, I'm happy with that. They're going well. So our basey colours are on. Let's get some other base colours going. We're going to go for Angel Green. The Robin Hood, boyhood Robin Hood hero thing makes me bows. There's got to be somebody wearing at least green trews. This is again, this is Angel Green. Bit of medium in there. Helps the paint flow nicely. Strange, isn't it? You actually thinner paint a little bit and the coverage goes up. Okay, let's see if anyone else wants a bit of green on them. I try and use one colour that's going to tie a unit together. You know what I mean? I said I'm not too worried about this because I'm probably going to split these guys up anyway. Get a couple more packets. Yeah, I saw on the website they've got these as the warriors, I think, and then the slightly less armoured ones are, I think they've sold them as levy. But without the book at hand, I couldn't tell you which new faction was going to use what. But I say the general gist of it, I should imagine it's all going to be fairly interchangeable. So maybe using sort of more neutral colours on the base troops would be a way to go with it all. I can mix them about a bit, I think. Yes. Let's do his green. Let's put our brown wash on now so that can start drying. I'm going to use some soft tone. Grab our slightly tired army paint character brush. I can't believe how cracked up that is, but it's good for wash and stuff. So I'm just going to hit this over any of our wood and I'm using that pretty much neat at the moment. If you want to flow a little bit quickly, put a little bit of medium in with it. I want it to almost stain the wood a little bit, so yeah, I thought that would be the case of those. So I'm going to put some medium in my brush just to go over the top of that fletching. I'm trying to come back into some white, so I want it to look a little bit dirty at the moment. I'm going to do that on there as well. See on there, it's obviously it's too dark, so what I do is grab your medium, that's a bit too much, and just put some medium in there, let it soak up the wash that's there, then move it around until you're happy with where it is. There we go. Then that other bit now is probably about the right to get this side, because you can't use a heavy wash on white. It just going to tea stain and look nasty. But we're using that as our base colour, so we're all right. I'm not going to worry about doing the boots because we're going to do some layering on that. Again, still got a bit of medium in my brush. This way we use that darker brown on that padding. Because if it had been the lighter brown, it wouldn't have taken the wash as well. Now we can go back in with the lighter sort of linen kind of brown to highlight that back out. And we've done all our shading in one hit, which is nice. And the wood, we can get quite heavy. That stain almost looked like a little bit like we've been clever and done some wood graining. You can actually do the same trick with the matte medium with the wood. If you sort of wash parts of it off, it lets the original colour through. You get that sort of, looks like you've been clever and painted a just watered it down a bit so we could get those fletching in. I want to make sure there's going to be no sort of gathering up by the hand there, some pulling up to. It's worth give it a few minutes, go back and have a look. I'll just put a little bit of medium in my brush, just so I can give it just a quick glitz over. Go back, make sure I'm not gonna, nothing too heavy. Again, across the front there. And that's why I use that sort of olive. Yeah, the white olive. Is it worn stone, that one? Yeah. Yeah. Just drop the wash down there. It's only where the wash is goes on a bit dark. It's like it's taking that fletching too much. So I take a little bit of medium. Just drop a bit of medium and then rinse it off a little bit. Really medium, just let it run. So a little tiny bit there. If you haven't got the medium, just a little tiny bit of water. Or they do a wall paint kind of medium as well, which is the same thing. I like it. You can put too much medium on. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put too much medium on this guy, and we're going to see how I can sort it out. That's a good plan, isn't it? So I'm going to chuck heaps on. It's a good experiment, isn't it? So we're going to do the old army painter dip, basically. I'm going to go back over even more on that. There we go. There's a lot on there now, isn't there? You see how it's pulling up? Just give it a moment. It does look like the old dips used to use. Okay, so let's start sorting out. So first thing is to start getting into these pools. So we do what's called wicking, which my wife thinks is hilarious. So you clean your brush, dip it in. Clean your brush, dip it in. And I'm looking for any area that is pooling up. Oh, that's quite a nice effect in there, but it's going to look naff when it dries because it's going to be just too dark. So we're going to put our brush in there and pull. Zip, zip, zip. Okay, can you see there's a big puddle of it there? Wait. So the brush is totally empty at the moment. I'm going to wick it away. Wick. It's gone. It's in my brush. I'm going to put it back in my palette. There's a big load of it in there that we're going to wick it away. Wick, 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 wick. There we go. You can see that. So there's still a lot behind there. We're just going to put our brush in there. Oh. There we go. There's a bit at the bottom there. Let's wick that away. Remember, it's Mr. Gravity is going to help this here because it's going to drag it all down. So remember, I've used the light. This is the light tone as well. Sorry, soft tone. So it's missed a bit there. See, I've still got some of my brush from that last wick away, so you can just go back. That's starting to dry there already. So as soon as this stuff starts to dry, you must leave it alone. It's too late then, you have to go back and sort it out later. But wick it away. If it still looks wet, you can move it around a bit. That's fine. So what you can do is go back in and put a little bit of medium in there. But yeah, so you can't really put too much of that stuff on as long as you take some of it back off, if you get the meaning. So I think sometimes people go a little bit cautious with it, so they don't know what it's going to do. So that's just to prove that you can just get it on there sometimes. I would say if you're doing a warlord miniature and you're doing very delicate work, then go a little bit careful. Right, so let's see. So going back to the first one, now we can see that white with that over the top just looks like a dirty white rather than a wash. There's no real tea staining on it. So I think tabletop wise, that's what I'd expect from, if you're doing a batch of 100 of these, that's how, and you could paint those real quick like that. I'm just showing you what we've got at the moment. This is after hour and 3/4 on 6 miniatures. So these guys need some colour. Doesn't. So these are more effects. So those 3 are pretty much finished. So let's concentrate on these 3 for a minute. Right there. Let's do one black. This is the black I mix up with any black I've got kicking around really in a load of medium. We're going to do one of the Brigandine armor with these. What about this black is where I've watered it down. Yeah, it acts very similar to the speed paint, black speed paint. So it's going to let that light areas of grey show through. So you get that sort of charcoaly black, which is what I want it to be. Again, over the rivets as well. So again, we're getting these to tabletop, and then we're going to leave it so we can, obviously you can paint in a way, so if you want to go further you can. That's what our aim is. Just like we're painting with a lot of base colours, we can start layering up from there, or you can do all sorts of things, which you've probably seen on some of my other videos. So white is, you could leave it like that dirty white colour, that sort of dirty linen, isn't it? But you can also from there grab a beige, or grey matte beige, do a highlight on that, and then a top highlight in matte white. If you want it to go ping, you can do that. There we go. Black one there. Let's do a Dr. Bob, as his bluey armour is that's more it's a grey blue. I think it's this colour. Tidal blue. So yeah. Again, his blue is slightly darker than that, but I'm doing this so I can put a blue wash over the top. So sometimes it pays to, if you're not going to faff around too much, is actually start a tone lighter and put a wash on it. Or it depends if you want, how much you want to play around with highlights. And I'm looking to get this, I'd be looking to get this unit of warriors done in one evening, like one hit. So I'd be taking some of these shortcuts. But in fairness, if it's your warband, you might want to take a bit of time, blah 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 blah. But don't try and, we've said about this before, about over painting. If you try and paint every miniature to your absolute best, first of all, you're going to burn yourself out, so don't do it. Secondly, it's going to take you ages to get anything to the table, so you're never going to get to play anything. So save the top jobs for your top guys. So your half guard and your warlord in Saga. The time you can save on these guys, apply to them. So sure, take a few shortcuts on these guys. I think he'd like to have blue leggings, this guy. There we go. I think we need some red going on as well, don't we? I'm going for an Army Painter War Paints. That's the first edition one. Abomination Gore. Found somebody had this is one of the reds from the originals line that I really liked, so I managed to pick some up. It's really sort of dark browny red. It's the colour I used to use from base colour from my red work. They've swapped to more purpley colour for the base, which it kind of works, but I just like this one. And the one that they replace this one with, I don't think is as close as I like it. So sorry, Army Painter. Bring back Abomination Gore. That's what I say. I suppose Resplendent Red is supposed to be a similar colour, but it's not. It's not quite. So he's got his colours on. He needs some different leggings. He could have some red leggings, couldn't he? Dr. Bob, I can't remember what colour his leggings are, but he's red now. So I'm going to hit these with some washes in a minute. Yeah, it's yeah, you're right. One of the inspirations I've got for the colours is there's a castle near Bath called Farley Hungerford, and when I went there quite a few years ago, let's visit there again soon actually. Their crypt, I suppose. The colours in there were amazing, and that was one of the colours that got into my head. Was that like funny enough, it's one of the bright walls that she does as well. So all good, all good. I'm thinking about going back in with some white on this one because it'll look good. Maybe give some whitey leggings as well. Let's go do that. I like this sort of olive whitey grey. It's almost like a wool colour, isn't it? Sorry, I keep finding that where there's so many faces for the autofocus to find on the bench. So you have to have my apologies if the camera's been jumping around a bit. Oh wow! Sorry, what about is that again? Cube? Yeah, I know you told me, but I've got a memory like a squid. Ah, nice. Dudley. That's I had friends come from up near there. Oh wow, that's cool, isn't it? There we go. And that white and blue would look good together. What I'll do is Sorry, everyone for not chatting. I was reading the comments on the chat room, guys. So if you're on the channel at the moment, I went quiet. That's what was happening. And if you do watch us live and watch us back live, do join in on the chats, because they're a friendly bunch on there. We haven't talked about anything kind of random tonight either. It's been all... Let's take that bit of white off his chin. Always tidy it up as you go along. There we go. So while that bit is drying, let's get the... So next we're going to do Greedy Gold, because you knew I would. Grab an old brush and just look for any interesting little buckles you want to, just to make it just stand out differently. I mean, I always like doing the sword hilts and cross guards. I know they're not all like that, but in fairness, it just makes it look different. I can't imagine you must have some photographs of that, Rich, surely. Sorry for laughing, mate. I bet you looked magnificent. Magnificent beast. Rich, yeah, send photograph. We I can't guarantee that I won't show it online if you send it to me. Oh, mate. That's full on. Well done. Well done, my friend. It's awesome. I can't. That's brilliant, mate. Right, let's get some of these washes on. The green. Well, that dark green will hardly show this, but it will. But not masses. But we might as well go on there. We're impressed, Rich, in fairness. I'm just going to match the colours for my washes now. So next we're going to blue. Nice. It's such a shame you can't post pictures. Well, no, I suppose it would become a very dodgy chat room if you could put pictures up in there, wouldn't it? Yeah, they've had thought these things through, I suppose. Because that's a green-based blue. That one is a green. You can either wash that blue, or you could probably get away with washing it with green. But it's going to look kind of green. Just let that blue wash going in there. I'll come back and get the rivets, so we need that nice and dry. So we'll wash quite heavy on these because I'm not going to go back in with a different blue. Then we're going to go back with the red. Yeah, I mean, if you go to anywhere that's still got any old war paint stock, you could do worse than grab yourself a bottle of Abomination Gore, because it works as a great undercoat base color for your reds. Also, you can actually use it as a base color with your brown, a highlight for your brown, ready browns, that sort of thing. And it just seems to work really well with the wash. And I know they've developed this range with a lot of good painters, and they've done, I think they've done a really cracking job. But this is the but. Which one companies did they looked at their range and decided, you know, we like this one, we're going to keep this one. Because the first thing you do when someone brings out a new paint set, I've just soft brown is a little bit juicy, so I'm just going to put a little bit of just add a bit more medium to it. Yeah, I wish they'd sometimes just don't fix it if it ain't broken. I get they wanted to do a new range, but sometimes yeah. I'd look at the John Blanche one. Having the whole range sat in front of me, I didn't really see much difference in the ones that he'd picked out. Whether it's just I'm picking these ones out, these are the ones I like, or I don't know. He did chat to me about doing the. Well, somebody was chatting to me about it. Somebody from one of the magazines was talking about me getting involved with the Dark Age colours. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to bring out sets for the Dark Age, sets for the World War II, which is great. They did it before, didn't they? But they had a Griffin Beast paints at one point. All right, the ones I looked at them last night actually, Rich, and they look like the ones that are some of the ones that we've already got, so it can't be much different, and it's not terribly hard to mix them. I know they're aiming at the grim darts. So they're aiming that for people painting 40k as well. So it comes to a point, doesn't it, where you've got to think, well, if I haven't got a colour for that, perhaps I should mix one. If I haven't got one, you know what I mean? If I've got, let's look on their base colours over there. There's 2 rows of orange there. So that's 12 different oranges. Plus you got the orangey yellows in the next line. So technically you've got 3 rows going from a very light yellow to a very dark orange. So if 18 shades you can't get the one you need for an orange and yellow, you're probably not going to get there. It's like the pinks. There's there's pure pinks. There's 6 different ones. I'm not suggesting that everyone needs every single colour. It's just that I thought the opportunity to buy the whole lot all at once, I do like it. And in fairness, I do use an awful lot of colours. There's certain of the lighter colours I don't use a lot of, but definitely there's some good ones in. The browns are very, very good. Yeah. All right, what I'm doing now. Kind of lost my thread for a minute then. Right, let's get back on it. So next up, let's get the eyeballs painted in. I'm going to go matte white for the eyeballs. Any white, you can use an off-white. A lot of people don't like using, no, Karen doesn't. She tends to clear away and use a lot off-white. I don't mind. I quite like the matte white. Let's see if we can get it into somewhere it's going to pick the focus up. So we're going to load up with a bit of medium, a bit on a brush. Okay. Sorry, the focus isn't staying. It's hard to see on the screen if I'm keeping in focus there. Sorry, guys. Perhaps it do better there. This one's got a bit of a chewing gum face going on. There we go. The eyeballs will sort it out. I do like this. One of my favourite things about the front rank is the fact that the faces are really good. Okay. So the focus change there, so brutal blurry there. Sorry, guys. Remember, hand on the bench, grip it in, so that hand can't joggle around. And we make a yeah, you certainly are. That's the white silver rising. Again, up to you if you paint the eyes. I think it's good practice for everyone. But I can equally see people's point of view saying, well, you wouldn't see their eyes from 100 yards away, whatever. Yeah. Let's not fire till we see the whites of their eyes. Just as a good reason for not painting them. And when we're doing the dot, we don't aim for center, aim for off center. Then you match up. There we go. Yeah. Oh, sorry there. I saw it go blurry then. I think it's picking up focus on my fingers or something. Oh, Rich. Oh, your missus, she's brutal. That's ace. Well, at least you had eyes on it, mate. That's Keep practicing. If you get your brush control so you can paint a single dot, yeah, you can transfer that skill to your freehand work. When your brush control gets better. There we go. But it just makes them look so alive, doesn't it, when you paint the eyeballs in? That is brutal, mate. Sorry, I've just got this picture of this dejected, mohawked little punk sat in the corner crying. Sorry, Rich. I think you're not going to speak to me again, are you? I'm not surprised. Oh. I got to stop, Rich. I got to stop painting for a minute. I'm gonna get a stitch. Oh. I'm gonna have to buy your missus a beer when I see it. That's brutal, mate. Absolutely brutal. Oh. I'm gonna have to get her a t-shirt printed going. I'll get a t-shirt saying, "Is it a zombie?" Oh. I'm gonna paint something so I can't mess up from it. This is a mixture of the oak brown, medium, and any other brown I tend to have hanging around. It's hilarious, mate. I think the Red Bull's gone to my head tonight, isn't it? So this is. We're just gonna get some of the. Mate, I'm laughing with you, not at you. Well, I suppose it might be a bit at you, but. The question has to say, though, Rich, have you asked her to show her painting skills to you? She get her to paint some eyeballs. They're not easy. So am I dead to you now? Sorry, Betty. My picks are finished now, aren't they? You're going to show no mercy when we play Saga. Turned into a right grudge match now, is it? You're going to rage quit at Saga. Yeah, so the back to the painting. I've got back on track now. So this brown is very, as you can tell, is very watery, and it's that way because obviously the pumice I'm using is neutral. So this will soak in and give us a natural highlight. So we won't have to go and dry brush it or anything. You can, but we won't have to. That's brilliant, Rich, isn't it? What was that with him? I don't know. I might repaint my pics all their eyeballs out, so they just got no, so they're all whites to their eyes. That's gonna have to be the new thing. I'll try and set that off at a tournament. Whenever it is, anything instead of swearing out loud or whatever, it's zombie. What are you gonna do when we start the zombie role playing? I've nearly written the first adventure as well, so that's gonna happen soon, mate. I shall email you soon with the link. You get to shout zombie a lot then. Okay, so now we're gonna let's sort out the leather. So we've done Brigandine Brown. We're gonna go Bootstrap Brown. I'm just gonna hit over this Brigandine Brown. Just basically starting our highlight. So we're gonna, and in the top edges that are gonna catch the sun, we're gonna paint down on top edges. Always like to do a little bit extra now on these with this Brigandine Brown if we're doing it this way, because it's quite a big area of brown, so you can kind of affect the way the miniature looks quite a bit. You get a lot of bang for your buck doing this. I think that's what it's like. That's what you gotta try and achieve when you're batch painting. Do the things that are going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So eyeballs aren't really going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. Painting the leather like this will. So I'm getting to that point where I'm thinking these are getting very close to being tabletop. Scabbard, I'm going to start from there. It'll look a little different from the belt then. You think, well, 2.5 hours. That's flown by tonight, isn't it? So yeah, just going to hit the edge of these, anywhere that's pointing up, basically. Have we got? Yeah, there's enough life in the. Let's put a little drop of medium on there. This is going back into that gunmetal. What's it called? Gunmetal silver? The other one. So I can catch the. This might be a bit watery, we might have to put some more out. Let's try it. There's no quick way for this. You got to load your brush up to get to the point where the paint will run freely from your brush. Put your patient head on. Just work in nice lines going. Not moving your hand too much. Pretty same way as we do eyeballs, really. Let's keep working around. Ignore the snoring dog. How about the quiet? It's one of those things you have to concentrate on a little bit. I got a bit over it. So that's some of that. I'm trying to go as quick as I can. There we go. And there should be another one to do somewhere. There he is. So load up your brush. And just keep that left hand locked. And get it so you only your kind of this part of your hand can move, so you lock your right hand against your left hand, which is jammed against the bench, basically. If that hurts, I know a guy that he can't do that with his hand because it hurts him, so he's got a bathroom sponge he puts on the back of his hand before he puts on the bench. Otherwise he kind of, I think it cuts off the Like, damn it, he's got damaged nerves or something. But yeah, so if it hurts, don't do stuff that hurts, because that's not good. He solved it. Solved the problem. Just a nice square cheek bath sponge. If something's hurting, it's our body's way of telling us we're being a knob and to stop it. Okay, so that's the rivetsy done. There's a I can't remember what they're called. Wrist protectors. Yeah, I thought it was good. It means he can press. When you're doing that technique where I'm locking everything off, you put yourself is you have to press your hand in real hard to do that. And yeah. I'm just grabbing a bit of brown of the Brigadine variety, just that. I looked for this earlier on one of the first ones I painted in the batch, and it didn't have any, so I presumed the rest hadn't, but I presumed wrong. Yeah, I looked at this one and I was thought, oh, should I paint it like it's leather behind there? But he hasn't got it on his. There's a little bit of white just cracked down the side of his nose. I'm just gonna tidy up with a bit of flesh in there. There we go. So next we are going to that pretty much done as tabletop goes. Well, now we're doing a little bit extra work. Shining silver. Let's just go over why I've done the chainmail the way I did. And this is why, so I could get this effect. So I can now, where all the metal on there is nice and darked, I can now go back in with the silver and pick little areas out. Just I've got a little bit of silver in there, but not too much. I can just gently brush areas, like giving it an over brush of areas that will catch the light. So I don't want to go all over it. I just want to go to areas. It won't be that shiny, but it won't be completely dark either. So I'm just going to go back in, kind of around the edge there. It's too much. There's too much silver on my brush, so I'm just going to take it out with a bit of water. There we go. Yeah, there was too much silver in the brush. So looking for like the top of the knees there, top of his feet, just down the centre, the edge of his calf there. All the bucklers, I haven't done the but I might leave them all silver. Metal. Then I can always add a colour to them at a later date if I wanted to. So again, I'm just going to work round, not quite a dry brush, but not quite a overpaint. You want somewhere in between. Just a bit on the top of the helm there. Anywhere that's facing up, because it's not really a shine, it's more just that corner of the axe head there. It's just going to be in a brighter area, so it's. This is what I'm saying. If we'd have just done like a dry brush over black, we couldn't have chosen where to put our highlights really. Well, not accurately. Okay, let's have a look at what we got. I think these are generic enough that you're going to be able to use them with pretty much any of the things. You can add like the red cross if you want them to be English archers. You can add different other details depending on the livery of whatever faction you're choosing really, but I would suggest keeping some of them just plain so you can swap them about. There we go. So I think they're pretty much done. They need tufts on them, the black around the bottom like you usually paint, but that's generally pretty much good enough for your basic warrior. So that's got 2 hours 45 minutes for 6 miniatures. We'd have done 8 in the same time, in fairness. So talking about 3 hours for a point of warriors, so that's not bad, is it? I'm not sure my camera's focused on that. It's sort of gone blurry. Alan, let's move them back here. I won't worry about it too much. Okay, so I think let's have another quick look through, see if there's anything major. No, so we've kept them, say, pretty standard, pretty basic. But from there, we could go on, we could do different shading and highlighting. That's why I like to get them to. But you see how the light's catching the silver I put on top there? It's quite cool. So if your liveries are red and green on your men-at-arms, then these are all going to fit in. See, when the matte lacquer hits them as well, they're going to tone down a little bit. But they are corking miniatures. Now I know they've done them up as starter sets as well on the Grip and Beast website, which is cool. So yeah, have a look at those. Right, I'm going to call it a night there. Thank you very much for joining me. It's good to see you all back again after a little break. I'm pretty sure I'll be here next Friday, but now the link's working again. Cheers, Kubla. And yeah, so we can try to do some different ones. Let's say it'll be front rank again. I'll just maybe do the men-at-arms next week, or maybe one of the personalities. We'll see how I go. Right. Well, thanks for joining me, guys. And if you're watching this back tomorrow and you've not subscribed, that really helps us out. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, that sort of palaver. See you on Facebook, X, Blue Sky. And thank you for joining me, and cheerio, guys. Yeah, have a cracking weekend. Cheers, and dudes. Bye now.